Hi, I'm Pattu from FreeFinCal, and in this video, let's discuss which are the most popular direct plan mutual funds. So, if you are new to mutual fund investing, then you should first recognize that there are two kinds of plans called the direct plan and the regular plan. Now, every day when the mutual fund company declares the NAV or the net asset value of the mutual fund around 9 p.m. In the night, before they declare it, they will first deduct what is known as the expense ratio. This is the amount that is deducted from the assets of the fund for managing the fund. And in the case of a regular plan, they will also deduct commissions for giving the sales people who sold you the fund from the NAV. That is, they are deducting commissions from your investment value from the NAV before the NAV is actually published. So, in the case of the direct plan, they will only deduct expenses and they will not deduct any commissions. So, that is the difference. So, if you use the direct plan, you will gain about 1% extra return over the regular plan for every year you stay invested in the fund. In fact, the difference between the direct plan expenses and the regular plan expenses have now increased. So, you may even get more than 1%. So those are the plans. There is also something called the options. There is something called a growth option and a dividend option. In a growth option, the fund manager will always stay invested in the stocks or the bonds. In the dividend option, from time to time, the fund manager will sell some stocks or sell some bonds, and the cash will be distributed equally to all unit holders. So you can have a regular plan mutual fund, and within that regular plan mutual fund, you will have a growth option and a dividend option. And you can have a direct plan mutual fund, and within that direct plan, you can have a growth option and a dividend option. Many people confuse plans and options. Please don't. So we are talking about the mutual funds in the direct plan, that is without any commissions, that have the largest AUM. Okay. So, and we are going to define the most popular direct plan funds as the funds which have got the highest AUM or the assets under management. So, the AUM that you see in portals like Value Research or Morningstar is the total AUM. That is it is the sum of the regular plan plus direct plan AUM. The AUM can be obtained from the AMFI website, that is the Association of Mutual Funds in India website. And AMFI gives you the breakup of the AUM in the direct plan and the regular plan. And the problem is that many people have their own assumptions of which is the most popular direct plan mutual fund, depending on how people talk about it in social media and so on. These assumptions are most often incorrect because there is no real data. There is no need to speculate, there is no need to assume. You can get the data from AMFI and then decide on your own. So, for example, let's take Nifty Next 50 Index Fund. This has got about 272 crores. This is about a 5-year-old fund, I think a little more than that maybe. 64% of the AUM of that 272 crores comes from the direct plan, including both the growth option and the dividend option. Only the rest comes from the regular plan. This is expected because you expect more DIY investors who understand about indexing, who understand indexing, the benefits of index investing, to choose the direct plan option of ICICI Nifty. UTI has a Nifty Next 50 Index Fund. This was launched only a few months ago and is already has 235 crores, but only 25% comes from the direct plan. So the rest of it was pushed by distributors, most of it I think during the NFO period, because the AMC will ask the distributors to sell or push funds during the NFO. And so it is silly to buy an index fund with a regular plan because you will be paying a lot in commissions. So if you are holding the regular plan of the UTI Nifty Next 50 Index Fund, please switch to direct today. Okay, so one more fund is the ICICI Equity Arbitrage dividend option in the direct plan. This dividend option alone accounts for 47% of the total AUM. Total AUM means all the, that is direct plan dividend option plus growth option plus regular plan dividend option plus growth option. Whereas the regular plan dividend option of this fund accounts only for 32%. So Most likely the direct plan dividend investors are high net worth individuals who don't mind that 10% tax, dividend distribution tax on the dividends, on the regular monthly dividends and so on. That's why they choose this one. So only when you look at the actual breakup of the AUM among the regular plan funds and the direct plan funds, you will understand what drives investors to choose the dividend option, growth option, regular plan, direct plan, and so on. Now, what are the factors driving the popularity of the direct plans? Now, if you look at the list, you will see that in a moment, most of the direct plan AUM has come from older investors who were holding regular funds before the advent of direct plans, and after January 1st, 2013, when direct plans became available, they gradually shifted their AUM to direct funds and maybe added more investments to it. And also people who appreciate the tax efficiency of arbitrage funds go to arbitrage funds, and if they are DIY investors, they will prefer direct plans, or if they are institutional investors, they will also prefer direct plans because the expenses are less. And especially in the case of debt mutual funds, corporate investors or institutional investors prefer direct plans because of lower expenses, because they can hire somebody in-house to do the research and invest in it. Direct fund portals, which many of them are now free and some of them are paid, they are also driving the AUM of the direct plans, but so far their influence is not yet a big factor, but this could change in 5-10 years. Let's see. So let's look at the list of the most popular direct plan equity funds. This includes arbitrage funds. This is as on September 2018, that is end of last quarter. The source is from AMFI. There are 38 funds with an AUM of 1000 crores. That is, direct plan AUM is 1000 crores. I have only looked at the either the growth option, or in the case of arbitrage funds, the dividend option. I have not added the growth option and dividend option of direct plan equity funds. That's a bit too much work and I cannot do that. I have published 48 funds at FreeFinCal. You can look at the full list there. This is just the top 15. One of them is probably cut off, but that's okay. So the highest direct plan AUM is in the HDFC equity fund. This is just the growth option. The dividend option will have a little more. And but please recognize that this 6,000 crore accounts only for 28% of the total AUM of this HDFC equity fund. So it's quite a small slice. It's significant. 28% is not small, but it's still small compared to the regular plan. But this is going to keep increasing. This is going to as time passes. Look at the other funds in yellow. They're all arbitrage funds, and none of them are growth options. If you notice, all the diversified equity funds are all growth options. Wherever there is equity arbitrage, they are all dividend options. None of the top funds are all are in growth options in the arbitrage category, and that is because people like they're all HNIs or corporate investors. They put in a lot of money and they get regular dividends, weekly or monthly dividends. And earlier, before April 1st, 2018, these dividends were completely tax free. But after April 2018, that is from this current financial year, they are taxed at 10% regardless of the amount of dividend. So probably this dynamic may also change. Probably some investors may not prefer dividend option of arbitrage anymore. So we will see how that goes. So these are the list of most popular direct plan debt funds. There are 93 funds with more than 1000 crores in the direct plan. The full list of 107 funds are available at FreeFinCal. The largest direct plan debt fund AUM, that is the most popular debt fund in the has got an AUM 5.8 times the its counterpart in the equity. So that is, so HDFC equity fund is the most popular equity direct plan. The most popular debt fund, which you will see right now, has got a AUM which is 5.8 times more than this. So that's huge, because that's all corporate or institutional money. So that's the top 15. So Aditya Birla Sun Life Liquid Fund is the most popular or the has got the highest AUM among the direct debt category. But and recognize, look at the change now. This AUM is 70% of the full AUM of the fund. Only 30% of the AUM in ABSL liquid fund is in regular plan. 70% is in direct plan because the corporates and HNIs and institutional investors prefer direct plans. So look at the change there. So direct plans are obviously more popular in the debt category than in the equity category. This is going to be the case for some years to come, but just that the equity fund slice will increase as time passes. So please pause the screen for both those lists and have a look at the AUMs, and go to freefincal.com, look at the full list. It's actually linked in the video somewhere. I'll link it. So go to FreeFinCal. Let me look at the list and let me know what are your thoughts on the kind of funds that are most popular in the direct plan category. And if you're still investing in regular plans, for God's sake, stop doing that and get rid of all your direct plans and switch over to get rid of all your regular plans funds and switch over to direct plans right away. Sorry about that. So I'll catch you again in another video. Bye bye.